The silence surrounding restricted free agents as training camps loom is often a sign of underlying tension, a classic standoff between a player seeking fair value and a team looking to manage its cap and future commitments. For the Montreal Canadiens, this very situation presents a tantalizing opportunity to address one of their most pressing needs, a legitimate second-line center. Welcome back, Habs fans, to another crucial discussion about the strategic moves that could define our future. While Kent Hughes has made significant strides in bolstering our defense and accumulating young talent, the search for that elusive second-line center has been a persistent theme. We've explored various options, but a new, potentially perfect scenario is emerging from the ongoing RFA negotiations across the league. The Calgary Flames recently re-signed Connor Zary, but a handful of other quality RFAs who logged significant NHL minutes last season remain unsigned, including Mason Mctavish of the Anaheim Ducks. The longer these stalemates persist, the more uncomfortable the situation becomes for the teams involved, creating an opening for a proactive general manager, like Kent Hughes. Mason Mctavish is a name that should immediately pique the interest of Canadiens fans. He's a young, dynamic forward who has averaged 19 goals in each of his first 3 NHL seasons, showcasing his offensive upside and potential to be a top 6 center. The Anaheim Ducks are reportedly feeling the most pressure to re-sign him, as highlighted by Adam Perteau of the Hockey News. For a team like Anaheim, striving to make the Stanley Cup playoffs, having a dynamic young player like Mctavish off the ice is simply not an option. However, as NHL insider Elliot Friedman reported on the 32 Thoughts podcast, the two sides are at an impasse, primarily over contract length. The Ducks are pushing for a long-term deal, 6 or more seasons, while Mctavish prefers a shorter bridge deal, allowing him to bet on himself and cash in on the anticipated cap increases in a few seasons as an unrestricted free agent. This disagreement, coupled with the fact that Anaheim has several other key young players like Leo Carlsson, Jackson Lacombe, and Cutter Gauthier becoming RFAs next summer, suggests the Ducks might be hesitant to commit too heavily to Mctavish on a bridge deal. Friedman noted that while the Ducks don't want to trade him, they're not very excited about a bridge deal, making an agreement on a longer projection difficult. This is precisely where the Canadiens can seize their moment. The idea of an offer sheet has been a hot topic in recent years, especially with Canadiens president of hockey operations Jeff Gorton expressing his belief that they would become a growing trend. However, despite the anticipation, the market has remained largely stagnant since the St. Louis Blues made 2 successful offer sheet acquisitions in 2024. Teams with ample cap space, like the Ducks, are typically in a strong position to match any offer sheet, making it a less viable path for acquisition. Instead, a more traditional trade scenario appears to be the most realistic approach for Montreal. The Canadiens possess a healthy collection of prospects and some valuable draft capital, including extra second and fourth round picks in the 2026 NHL draft. This gives Kent Hughes the flexibility to construct an appealing package for Anaheim. So, what could a potential trade package for Mason Mctavish look like? The article suggests a deal involving center prospect Michael Hage, another lower-tier prospect, and a 2026 second-round pick. For the Ducks, if they truly cannot come to terms with Mctavish on a long-term deal and are unwilling to sign him to a bridge contract, this package offers a way to recoup significant assets. Michael Hage is a promising young center who could develop into a key piece for Anaheim's future, while the additional draft capital allows them to continue building their prospect pool. It's a difficult decision for the Ducks, but one that might become necessary if the contract stalemate persists as training camps approach. For the Canadiens, acquiring Mason Mctavish would be a transformative move. With the recent trade of Carey Price to the San Jose Sharks, Montreal now has the necessary cap space to make such a deal viable. Mctavish immediately slots in as the second-line center, providing a dynamic offensive presence behind Captain Nick Suzuki. He brings a combination of skill, scoring touch, and a competitive edge that would significantly bolster our forward group. Furthermore, the structure of a bridge deal for Mctavish, which he reportedly prefers, could be modeled after Marco Rossi's recent 3-year, $15 million extension, offering a clear and manageable financial commitment for Montreal. This would allow Mctavish to prove his worth further, while giving the Canadiens flexibility down the line. The impact of Mctavish on the Canadiens lineup cannot be overstated. He would provide the much-needed secondary scoring and playmaking that the team has been seeking, taking pressure off the top line and making our offense far more balanced and dangerous. Imagine a lineup with Suzuki anchoring the first line and Mctavish driving the second, surrounded by our promising young wingers. This move would signal a clear intent from Kent Hughes to accelerate the competitive window, transforming the Canadiens from a rebuilding team with potential into a legitimate playoff contender. It's a perfect storm of opportunity, where Anaheim's contract woes align perfectly with Montreal's pressing need, creating a chance for a blockbuster trade that could redefine the Canadiens' future. What do you think, Habs fans? Is Mason Mctavish the ideal second-line center for the Canadiens, and is the proposed trade package a fair price to pay? Do you believe the Ducks will ultimately be forced to move him if they can't agree on a contract? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear your takes on this exciting potential acquisition. And if you're as passionate about the Canadiens' future as we are, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our in-depth analyses and breaking news. Your support helps us keep bringing you the passionate, insightful coverage you deserve as we follow the Canadiens on their journey back to the top.